Today, we are going to dive into the fascinating inside-out anatomy of a modern car. If you have ever popped the hood or stared at your dashboard and felt just a little overwhelmed by how complex it all looks, well, you are in exactly the right place. We are going to break down all that automotive jargon into a really simple, highly visual blueprint. Basically, we're going to treat the car just like a living, breathing organism. Let's run through today's agenda real quick. First, we'll look at the heart, which covers the engine and powertrain. Then, we move on to the muscles, meaning transmission and control. Third is the brain, where we'll talk safety and electronics. And finally, the experience, focusing on the cabin and tech. Section 1. The heart, engine, and powertrain. At the very core of it all, the engine has one primary job. It converts fuel into raw mechanical power. For most cars you see on the road today, that heartbeat is a four-cylinder engine with a 1.5 to 2.5-liter displacement, usually pushing out somewhere between 150 and 250 horsepower. The general rule of thumb here is all about volume. More cylinders and a higher displacement, meaning more liters, generally gives you more power. But that extra muscle definitely comes with a trade-off, which is lower fuel economy. So how do engineers solve that fuel economy problem? Well, they often use a turbocharger. You can think of a turbocharger kind of like a pair of high-performance forced air lungs for your car. If a vehicle has one, it forces extra air right into the engine. This generates significantly more power without actually needing a larger, heavier engine block. It gives you that aggressive burst of speed without the gas-guzzling footprint of a massive engine. And this perfectly illustrates the modern efficiency choice we face today. You can stick with a standard gas-powered engine, or you might opt for a hybrid system. A hybrid combines that traditional gas engine with an electric motor and battery. It's an incredible synergy, honestly. It saves a massive amount of fuel, especially during stop-and-go city driving, where the electric motor can take over the low-speed heavy lifting. But that brings up a really good question. How does all that raw, explosive power generated inside the engine actually translate into a smooth, controlled drive when you are cruising down the highway? That takes us to Section 2, the muscles, transmission, and control. To actually get that power down to the pavement, you need a transmission. Now, traditional manual transmissions require you to manually shift gears using a clutch, but that's pretty rare today unless you're looking at budget cars or specific sport trims. Most cars use an automatic transmission, like an 8-speed, that shifts entirely on its own. But the continuously variable transmission, or CVT, takes a totally different approach. A CVT has absolutely no fixed gears at all. It adjusts seamlessly on the fly, providing incredibly smooth and fuel-efficient driving. You will see this a lot in popular sedans from brands like Toyota and Honda. It really comes down to how you direct this muscle. Modern cars offer selectable drive modes like Eco, Normal, and Sport, which actively change how the throttle responds and how the transmission shifts. You've also got electric power steering, which reduces your steering effort and actually adjusts the weight of the steering wheel based on how fast you are going. Add in independent suspension, which lets each wheel move entirely on its own for a way smoother ride, plus lightweight alloy wheels that improve handling, and you've got a highly responsive machine. But hey, muscle isn't just about going fast, it's about stopping safely. Imagine you have to make a sudden highway stop. Standard front and rear disc brakes provide the stopping power, but they have a lot of behind-the-scenes help. First, brake assist detects that you are panic braking and instantly applies maximum stopping force. Then, the anti-lock braking system, or ABS, kicks in to prevent the wheels from locking up so you keep your steering control. Next, electronic stability control automatically brakes individual wheels to prevent skidding. And finally, traction control stops the wheels from spinning on slippery roads. And if you happen to be driving a hybrid or a fully electric vehicle, your brakes are actually pulling double duty through something called regenerative braking. Instead of just creating heat and friction, this system recovers the kinetic energy while you brake and sends it right back to recharge the battery. It is a fantastic little loop of efficiency. Section 3. The brain, safety, and electronics. Think of your car's foundational electrical system like a self-filling coffee cup. First, the standard 12-volt battery, which is totally separate from hybrid or EV batteries, powers the starter, the lights, and the radio to get things going. Then, once the engine is running, the alternator takes over and continually recharges that 12-volt battery. We also have the start-stop system, which is a clever feature that automatically shuts off the engine when you are sitting at red lights and then seamlessly restarts it when you lift your foot off the brake, saving you quite a bit of fuel over time. But the real brain power lies in ADAS, which stands for Advanced Driver Assistance Systems. Your car's brain is constantly analyzing threats. In a crash, it instantly deploys front, side, and curtain airbags to protect you. But before an impact even happens, it uses a forward collision warning to alert you of an imminent crash. Out on the highway, it uses adaptive cruise control to not only maintain a set speed, but automatically keep a safe, preset distance from the car right in front of you. This all builds into full 360-degree awareness. The car is literally acting as your eyes and your blind spots. If you drift out of your lane, lane departure warning and lane keep assist will alert you or even gently steer you back. Blind spot monitoring warns you of hidden vehicles when you're trying to change lanes. When you throw it in reverse, rear cross traffic alert checks for approaching traffic from the sides, while the backup camera gives you a clear view, aided by parking sensors that beep faster and faster the closer you get to an obstacle. And if all of those warnings somehow fail, well, we have AEB, or Automatic Emergency Braking. This is the car's ultimate digital fail-safe. It will autonomously step in and slam on the brakes for you if it determines a crash is going to happen and you just haven't reacted in time. So we have covered the explosive power, the physical muscular control, and the highly analytical digital brain. But what about the actual experience of sitting inside this machine, sometimes for hours on end? Let's look at Section 4, the experience, cabin, and tech. The central hub of your entire cabin experience is the touchscreen display. This controls your media, your settings, and the built-in GPS navigation. But if you prefer using your phone, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto perfectly mirror your device's maps, music, and calls right onto the car's screen, which is super convenient. You stay fully connected via Bluetooth, multiple USB ports, and a cable-free wireless charging pad. Plus, you can manage the climate, make calls, or set a destination using the built-in voice assistant, keeping your hands right where they belong, on the wheel. On the exterior, we are seeing a massive evolution. There has been a huge shift away from those traditional halogen bulbs toward LED headlights and taillights. They are significantly brighter and vastly more energy efficient. Pair those with automatic headlights that turn on and off based on the ambient light and rain-sensing wipers that activate the exact moment moisture is detected, and the car's outer skin is seamlessly adapting to changing weather all on its own. Inside, your comfort is absolutely the top priority. It starts before you even open the door with remote start from your phone or key fob and keyless entry with push-button start, so the key literally never has to leave your pocket. You've got power liftgates you can open with a wave of your foot, power windows, standard cruise control to rest your leg on long trips, and a sunroof for some natural light. For temperature, automatic dual or tri-zone climate controls mean the driver, passenger, and rear seats can all have different temperatures. Match that with heated or ventilated seats and a heated steering wheel, and you are ready for any weather. But as a driver, you've also got to know when your machine is sick. That is exactly why your dashboard is essentially a health monitor, featuring critical warning lights.
The check engine light indicates a general malfunction. The oil pressure light is highly urgent. If it comes on, you have low oil and you need to stop immediately. TPMS lets you know your tire pressure is too low. The battery light points to an alternator or 12-volt failure. And the brake light warns of a systemic failure, or, just that your parking brake is still engaged.
To help you monitor all of this while keeping your eyes safely on the road, modern cars are rapidly replacing those old-school analog dials with fully customizable digital instrument clusters. A lot of cars even feature a HUD or head-up display. It's a brilliant piece of tech that literally projects your vital speed, fuel, and navigation stats directly onto the windshield, right in your line of sight. And that wraps up our anatomical tour of the modern car. It is honestly incredible how all these individual systems, the heart, the muscles, the brain, and the senses, all work together in such perfect harmony. But it certainly leaves us with a provocative thought to end on. As cars become increasingly electric and heavily reliant on these automated digital brains, how much of this mechanical heart and muscle will we even recognize 10 years from now? Definitely something to think about the next time you get behind the wheel. Keep learning, stay curious, and I will catch you in the next explainer.